On this episode of Bite Sized, we are watching and discussing the third scene of the movie Twilight. For those of you watching along at home, that is from minute 206 to 409. And now, on to the episode. Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another episode of Bite Sized, the Twilight film retrospective podcast. For those of you just jumping on, here's what is happening. I am Ben Aber, your host, a comedian and now podcaster in the Chicago area. I and a different guest each episode, are watching and discussing the Twilight films one scene at a time. Arguably the worst possible way to watch these movies, certainly not a way I recommend. Joining me today for episode 3 of the podcast is a comedian, author, podcaster in her own right. She asked me to call her a Renaissance woman, Emily Bouroudjian. Welcome to Bite Size.
I did not ask you that. You said, hey, you are a Renaissance woman. I need to call you that. And I said, if you insist. So, I didn't say anything.
That's
I just want to put
not
that out
true,
there.
but that conversation happened before we were recording,
And
so I can't prove it.
No one can prove it.
I can't prove it or disprove it. Emily Bouroudjian, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are
Good.
you? I have been looking forward to this actually for like a week since you asked me.
I'm glad to hear it.
Just because it's exciting. I don't get asked to like be a guest on a lot of podcasts, and yeah, I just I have my own relationship with Twilight.
Well, that's the first question. I'm going to start this interview the way I start
for
all
it.
the other ones. Emily Bouroudjian, what is your history with the Twilight franchise?
I love that you keep saying my first and last name.
It's professional.
Just in case anyone else needs to know. Okay, I was a Twilight gal. I read all the books when they were coming out. I think I was in like middle school, like 7th or 8th grade, I think, when they were like at its peak. And I would have like reading parties with my friends because we were super cool. And we'd go into my friend's basement and we'd like all read our Twilight books, and we just probably wouldn't talk and it would be great.
Sounds like a fun party.
It was fun. And then when the movies came out, it was past our time. We were like, okay, well, now we're done with Twilight. But we still like watched them, and we hate watched them pretty much.
Really?
Yeah.
What inspired the change? How'd you go from loving them to hating them?
Loving a book and seeing the movie thing, even if it's an amazing movie and an amazing book, like just a dramatic thing, there's always going to be something in the movie that makes you like annoyed. Like if you're thinking of like Harry Potter books versus the movies, there's always like one detail that you wish they had that they didn't have time for because it's also a 2.5-hour movie. You know, it's like shit like that. So like with Twilight, I think it's already not like the best book. It was more like we were in 8th grade and we loved this unrequited love. And then when you see it played out in front of you, you're like, oh, this isn't good. Like, I romanticized it so much in my head, and now I'm seeing it and you're like, oh, like I see the red flags now, you know?
Interesting. I feel like, most people you hear from either dislike the movies because they dislike the whole thing, or love the books, love the movies. I feel like I don't talk to a lot of people who read the books and then saw the movies and were like, this is not what I signed up for.
Well, and I haven't read the books in a long time. So if I read them again, I'd probably be rolling my eyes. I think it was just like I was caught up in the movement.
Yeah.
But like there is a thing called, there's an app called Passionflix.
Never heard
of it. It is a romance. They turn romance books into movies. And so they have other things like that have been books that were on like Hallmark or things like that. That's just where all of them reside. But when I found out about it, I was so excited because I love romance novels.
Yeah.
And I found out that one of the first ever like kind of smut heavy romance novels I read was turned into a movie. I watched it and I was like, oh, this is a terrible story.
Yeah.
So I think once that happened a few years ago, it like made me realize these things.
And
I apply it to Twilight now.
You just can't enjoy movies of books that you like. Is that what I'm understanding?
No, I can't enjoy when I realize that the story is actually so bad.
Yeah.
Like, I hate being told.
Remember,
I hate being told.
Our audience here is Twilight fans. That's what we're going for.
Never mind. It's so good. No. I mean, again, it's like fun to watch. It holds a safe place in my heart. But it's just like as you grow up, you're like, oh boy, 8th grade Emily was much different than X amount of age Emily. So,
well, let's get into the clip we watched today. We watched about 2 minutes and 2 seconds of the film Twilight. We start with the title card. That's what it's called in the biz. The word Twilight over some
No one
mountains.
knew.
Yeah.
I did write it down, actually, though. I have notes for this. I don't know.
I have notes too.
Okay, good.
I'm also a
You should
professional.
have notes.
Just let me get through
I'm so sorry.
the description of this scene. We see Bella Swan in the police car with her father, Charlie, driving through Forks, talking about Forks and how small it is, pulling up to the new home, getting to see her new surroundings. What were your first impressions of this scene on this watch?
Like, I know that the whole movie is shot in the blue-gray scale.
Yes.
But it's so apparent with because the title card is all blue and white and gray, and then it's like, oh, the filter is not gone. It is there, and I forgot about it, and it's there the whole time.
And it's going to be there the whole time.
And the second note I wrote was Dutch angle choices, because another thing I remember is that this whole movie has the craziest choices for shots. Dutch angle means tilted, like it's tilted on its.
Oh, okay.
It's kitty corner. I don't know how to. You see what I'm doing?
Yes.
You could maybe explain it. I can't. It's a tilted angle shot. I hadn't seen this movie in over 10 years.
Really?
Yes, and I actually watched it drunkenly with my girlfriends like a year ago.
Yeah.
On a whim. They just turned it on. And I remember sitting there being like, oh my God, and like screaming at it the whole time, being like, how was this made? Because the choices are so interesting and weird. And I'd never seen something in a, not a kid's movie, but a preteen rom-com-y, whatever. So yeah, that all just came flushing back to me of like, oh yeah, Dutch angles,
Sure.
all that. The voiceover happened, and it's her explaining where she is, and the inflection of her voice is like,
in the state of Washington, under a near constant cover of clouds and rain, there's a small town named Forks. Population, 3,120 people. This is where I'm moving.
the way she's doing it makes me think it's going to be a noir almost.
Interesting. It kind of
Like the
is.
tone of her voice makes it, but it's a what, 16-year-old girl?
Yeah, it's sort of a young adult.
Oh, 18. She's doing
Noir.
her
I
senior
think-
year there, right?
I don't know
I can't
where
remember how
exactly
old
she
she
is in the
is.
journey.
I think
here.
it's like her last year of high school, I think is what it is. Yeah, the way she says it kind of makes me giggle because it's just like, has she seen a lot in her life that she's so like, folks, here we go, you
well,
know?
I mean, she's been there a lot before.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you listen
It's
to
not,
the
it's not her first
the
time there.
narration, yeah. She's seen all that it has to offer, apparently. All of its Bigfoot carvings
Yeah.
and bear statues.
Bear statues. A lot of logs.
Yeah.
Logs galore.
A lot of logs, and I also wanted to ask, we do see a log truck.
Mm-hmm.
This log truck has no driver. Did you notice that?
No.
Take a look. I have it pulled up here on the screen. This is the log truck.
There is no one in there.
There is no one in that log truck.
That's scary.
From a film perspective, I guess they just didn't want to pay a person to appear on screen.
No, and so they have another truck that's out of the shop pulling
or they just
the one
edited
forward,
the guy out. I don't know.
Which would be, but that costs money to edit somebody out of a shot. I wish they'd put a dog in there or something instead, like to just show how quirky Forks is.
Sure. What do you think is going on, though, in the universe of the film where you have this driverless log truck? How does that happen? I have two theories, but I'll let you go first.
First one that comes to mind, it's a vampire and the camera can't catch it on camera.
That is a great reading.
It's an easy one.
Yeah. I had an idea along similar lines where we know in this Forks, Washington, there's vampires, there's werewolves.
Yep.
Why not an
why not
invisible
ghosts?
man or a ghost? Yeah, any kind of other supernatural being or just a vampire.
But what's nice is that they're following the rules of the road too. So it's a really polite, like, you know, I'm here in society and I'm doing my debt.
Right.
Ghost/invisible man.
My other thought, this truck is moving very slow. And maybe the driver got out to do something and forgot to put the truck in park.
And it started rolling.
And it cuts away too soon. We don't get to see the driver sprinting down after
We don't
it.
hear screams.
No.
And also, to do that in front of the police car, though, ballsy. So you would think that maybe if that happened, the next shot where they're pulling up, the dad is like, "Can't believe I caught that truck."
You
just
can
in
only
time."
assume
You can only assume.
there is an unseen part of this movie that is Charlie telling Bella, "Hold on a second."
Yeah.
He's got to run down this truck and stop it from hitting, I don't know, some school children.
Can I say, speaking of the dad?
Yes.
What's his, Billy?
Charlie.
Charlie. Okay.
I've only said it like 5 times
No,
today.
but in real life, is his name Billy or something?
I don't know. I don't care about real life.
Well,
I care about Twilight.
I apologize. I think it maybe like, I don't know, maybe I've seen him in something else. But my note on that was like doing awkward divorced dad stuff so well. Like he's just, it like kind of like makes my dead heart grow 3 sizes, where he's just like looking at her and he's like, yeah, I picked out purple. Like, I'm uncomfortable because I'm a guy, but I got a daughter. Like, I was just like, oh, he's killing it. He's doing great in that role.
It's pretty good work, Lamp. The sales lady picked out the bed stuff. You like purple, right?
Purple's cool. Thanks.
Okay.
He's doing
Billy
great.
was, no, I'm kidding.
Charlie is Charlie Swan.
Billy Charlie Swan.
Okay, if
Barley,
you insist.
Barley Swan.
They drive to their house where Charlie immediately parks on the lawn, and you can tell he does that a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So she gets out of the car. She's holding a tiny cactus.
Yes.
Again, I have not seen the movie in now 2 years.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying very much attention. And when you sent me the scene to watch, I did not watch before.
Right.
But in my head, it was like, okay, she was just on a plane.
Yeah.
Got off the plane, went to baggage claim, got her bags, found Charlie. I almost said Billy. I'm so sorry. Found Charlie, got in the car, and they're driving. When they're in the
Right.
car, you don't see anything. She gets out of the car holding the tiniest cactus.
Yeah.
Was she holding it the whole time?
Well, listeners to the last episode will know that scene 2 of Twilight starts with her in Arizona leaving, digging up a cactus to take with her as sort of to remember her time.
And
so
I
the
knew
question
she came
is-
from the like Southwest.
Yes.
So I knew it was to represent that.
She brought that cactus on a plane with her.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
her carry-on. That's her personal
Basically,
item.
yeah.
It just seemed to come out of nowhere as someone who only watched this scene and didn't even see it in the car. And I know like it's from their shoulders up, really.
Yeah.
Like you don't see their hands, but like
There could be a tiny cactus anywhere in that car.
but the fact that when she got up, she held it so close to her face. As if the director said, hold on, get that cactus next to your face. We got to remember that you are from the Southwest.
Right. We need to show the
Yeah.
viewer that this has just been one continuous journey.
Yeah.
This montage that we've seen didn't take years.
Yeah, the tiniest cactus, and it's still perfect. It's still like
Sure.
lovely, like round.
Well, because it was dug up, presumably, just a few
Yeah.
hours ago.
She ruined the landscape to bring that to forth.
There's plenty of cactus to go around in Arizona, I think.
Haven't been there in a while. Don't know.
Okay, if you say so. Do you think it's legal in Forks to park on your lawn like that? Because I feel like usually it's not.
No, absolutely.
Yeah,
First of all, he's the law.
sure.
He is the law. He can do whatever he wants. But
I
I
mean,
know
he shouldn't.
even like I'm from the suburbs,
Yeah.
and like I'm from the suburbs where everyone has a paved driveway. I know
Yeah.
like further out, there's more like I don't want to say like not backwoods. What am I thinking? Like there's more land where
Yeah.
people have more land.
Yeah.
And they're like more man-made driveways, if you will.
Sure.
And I feel like that's what they're going for. That they're like, oh yeah, everyone has land. It's a bit more spread out. Like
Yeah.
you can park on your grass.
You can ruin your lawn if you
You
want,
can ruin
because
your
clearly it's just mud.
He's the law.
He can do whatever he wants.
He
Who is
was
gonna
sick
stop
of
him?
trying to get sod. He put sod in every day, and he was just like, "Fuck it." I'm sorry. Am I allowed to swear on this?
I guess I'm not going to stop you.
Fuck it. I'm driving over the sod.
What is in his driveway, if not his car? Does he have another car?
Don't think there is a driveway.
No driveway.
I think it's an overgrown driveway.
Okay.
Wait, was he? I don't know. The next scene, is he going right back out?
Not to spoil too much or anything, but in the next scene, there is a driveway.
Maybe it's
Yeah.
closer to get the bags out, and then he was going to go back and reposition the car.
Maybe. It just looks like, given the mud and the tire tracks, this
been
is something
happened
he does
before.
every day.
Maybe that's where. Oh, he saves the driveway for guests.
Okay.
Oh, for his friend who's in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
Boom.
Okay.
Because the wheelchair can't get through mud.
We nailed it. Okay.
Hey, mystery number 1 solved.
I'm glad we figured that out. Mystery number 2.
Oh,
This is a genuine question.
I
It's
love
something
this.
I want to talk about a lot.
Okay.
When he is getting Bella settled in,
Yeah.
he talks about the bathroom.
Yes.
He says he cleared some shelf space for her.
yes. There's an ADR line where she says, "Oh yeah, only one bathroom."
Cleared some shelves off in the bathroom.
Oh, right. One bathroom.
How much shelf space is this divorced dad using? Because I don't know about you, but when I lived alone, a single man, I did not use all the shelf space in my bathroom, and I feel like I use more product than the average guy. I feel like Charlie Swan is going to have like 2 things, maybe. So what was he taking off those shelves in order to make room for Bella?
Okay, I have like 3 theories now, maybe
Yeah.
2. 1, Bella has been there before. Old stuff from the last time she was there.
Interesting.
Like random things that have accumulated from female guests, maybe.
Okay, you think
Maybe.
he's got
Like-
a lot of lovers coming over.
Oh, he pulls.
Okay.
Oh, Charlie pulls.
All right.
Other thing is, it's an older house. Maybe there's not as much shelving per
Yeah,
se.
yeah.
So maybe there's literally 1 shelf, and he cleared out some shelf space.
Okay.
But I don't know what men use, like shaving cream. I was
Yeah.
about to say salt and pepper, shampoo and conditioner.
Salt and pepper in the bathroom.
for your
very
hot dogs
important.
when you eat a
Yeah,
hot dog shower.
absolutely.
Toothbrush, toothpaste, face wash, soap, extra soap.
Charlie does not use face wash.
Okay, extra bars of soap.
Okay.
Extra towels.
Yeah.
Which I would assume you just leave the towels there, unless the girl has different towels.
You know, it doesn't tell us. The movie does not tell us how many linen closets the house has. Yeah.
Hey, can the makers of Twilight please contact us? Please let us know the layout of the entire space. What else does a guy use?
I mean,
Maybe he shops in bulk and there's extra deodorant and
okay,
extra
he's
like
just got
he's a Costco guy.
4-pack of Old Spice up there. That's
Yes,
possible.
That
I
really
guess.
could be a thing. Or like razors,
Yeah.
pills. Is he on any pills?
Probably. He's the law.
He's the law. He takes away the pills and he uses them.
He can do whatever he wants.
Oh, also, sorry, we didn't talk about the first song. That soundtrack to the Twilight movie was like inescapable growing up.
Yeah.
And I was like a pop punk emo kind of gal growing up. I was very like Fall Out Boy, My Chemical Romance, like that was my era. But like this soundtrack came out and everyone listened to it. Like the Muse baseball scene is like the most famous thing ever. And like when
Yeah.
I hear that song, I only think of that. And this one, the first notes of it came out and it was like, when the full moon rises, and I was just immediately like brought back to like childhood.
Yeah.
Because I remember listening to that CD like in order and being like, oh yeah, this is like at the very top.
The music, I feel like, is pretty consistent. It's a style of music that I did not listen to and would not have otherwise been exposed to, especially when these came out. That would not have been on my radar, except for Muse. I was already a big Muse fan, and I think it's weird that made it. There's 2 songs in here.
It's a lot more
the Twilight soundtrack.
indie-esque.
Yeah.
Like Iron and
Wine?
Iron and Wine was
Yeah.
a big one. But like, yeah, because I went from pop punk emo to like indie stuff for like 1 year. And then I was like, I don't like this. And I
Right.
kind of went and found my own thing. But
There are a
Yeah.
couple songs that I have thoughts and mainly questions about, but I'll get into those when those
Yeah,
scenes
yeah,
come
that's
up.
fair, that's fair.
Weeks down the road, months and months away.
Years.
From there. Not quite years, fortunately. Simply weeks, I guess. During the scene, while we're driving through Forks, we get a good idea of what I'm going to generously call the downtown Forks art scene and just the sort of civic culture. There's the aforementioned Bigfoot and bear carving statues.
classic, needed on every street corner.
Yeah. Oh, just everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm sure in Forks. All 10 or 12 of the street corners they have. I don't want to talk too much about Forks being small. That feels mean-spirited.
Well, it's not mean. It's just a fact. It's a small
Yeah.
town, and she moved there from presumably a big town, or it was Phoenix, was it?
I think it was Phoenix.
Which is not like exactly a bustling metropolis, like
Phoenix?
as like Chicago, like what you would think in a movie of like big buildings. Like
Yeah.
Phoenix is a different type of
I
big
think it's
town.
the 5th largest city in the States.
I know, but when I think of a city, I think of skyscrapers.
Maybe you need to change the way you think about Phoenix, because I bet it does have some skyscrapers.
Well, I don't want to change the way I think about. I like the way I think.
We're getting off topic here. My question for you, Emily, is would you rather have a wooden carved statue of a bear or a wooden carved statue of Bigfoot?
Oh, bear.
Why?
Totally. Which size are we talking about?
We are talking about the ones that we see in the movie.
Okay, so the Bigfoot one
They're
is
like
big.
6-7 feet tall.
Then the bear one is big, but then there's a third. There's a smaller bear one.
No,
Yeah, there's 3 statues.
you don't get to choose the smaller bear one.
Well, so
you
I have
get
to
the
choose one of the
Bigfoot
big
or the
ones?
bear. Yeah.
Oh, I want to go bear because I think I would keep it in my apartment, obviously.
Okay,
And
high
I
ceilings.
would be terrified. I actually do have high ceilings
Yeah.
in my apartment. And I would wake up in the middle of the night and probably be really scared of the Bigfoot one.
Okay. And you don't think you would be scared of the bear?
No, I think I could make out the ears of a
Okay.
bear. Bigfoot, I don't know what
You
that
could
is.
see
That's a
the-
huge thing.
You could see the fish that the bear is holding in its mouth.
And I know he's just having a snack.
Oh, his
he's
mouth
just
is
a
full.
bear.
He can't bite me.
Yes, his mouth is full.
He's got a salmon in there.
But for any intruders coming into my apartment, they can't see that. They're not used to seeing a bear with a salmon, so they'll think it's real. Whereas Bigfoot would scare everyone.
Right.
Yeah, the bear would scare everyone except me, which I can accept.
Interesting. You are not afraid of bears.
No.
You are afraid of Bigfoots.
I don't know. I've never met a Bigfoot.
Okay.
Have I met a bear?
You're talking to one right now.
Shit.
Ben A. Bear is my name, and that's why I would choose the bear.
I like bears. I like Winnie the Pooh bear. That's a good one.
No, this is a different bear, though. This is a big, scary bear.
My friend once did a project on polar bears in 6th grade, and she loved them. And the teacher's like, "Why did you choose this?" And it was an in-depth report.
Yeah.
She goes, "Because they're so cute." And the teacher goes, "It's a bear. It could maul and kill you."
Yeah.
And then her spirit, and I watched her spirit just break.
Yeah.
But ever since, I've been like, bears. Like, I always think of her and just be like, they're cute. Oh.
We see Bella in the movie move into a childhood bedroom of sorts, and there's a lot of things you might expect to see a child have in their bedroom. There's a classic hand turkey. There's multiple puzzles and a game of Twister. If you were to move back into your childhood bedroom, what would you find? What would you keep? What would you get rid of? Speak on that.
I had a million posters. I had all my American Girl dolls.
Interesting.
They are now boxed up and ready for whatever. I'm keeping those things.
Yeah.
I had books. I love my books very much.
Yeah.
I had 2 types of bookshelves. Trying to think, I had a large M&M that you could sit on. It was the red one.
Was it
I wanted a Dave and Buster's.
a beanbag, or
It was like a life size, as big as a 7-year-old girl, red M&M with arms
not a
and
life
legs.
size M&M, which is actually very small.
Yes.
Yeah.
Life size for a child.
Okay.
That was in the corner that I would sit against because you would think it's cushy. It is not. It was made of styrofoam almost.
Okay. Was it supposed to be like a chair?
I think it was it was supposed to be a cushy thing, and then it was a cheap Dave and Buster's. I
Yeah.
spent all my tickets on that, but I would sit against it because it was hard, and that would be my reading corner. I had a small TV player, a small cube of a TV with a DVD player with a stack of Charmed season DVDs.
Yeah.
And we had a huge DVD collection in our basement, but mine were my TV shows and Buffy the Vampire Slayer
Yeah.
and Charmed. And there was always a stack of 3 or 4 that I was just going through because I just live my life with a TV on usually because I like to have something in the background. Yeah, now it's music, but it used to be TV. But yeah, my walls were covered in posters. It grew. It started when I was younger, and I was really into figure skating, and I had a Christy Yamaguchi poster. But then it would there was Green Day, there was No Doubt. I had an Amanda Bynes poster.
Ooh.
I had cover art from Fallout Boy albums,
Yeah.
and then random drawings that people had. So it was if you walked into it, and Ben, you know me you know me pretty well.
I've known you for 5 years at this point.
That's insane that we've
Yeah.
known each other. But yeah, if you walked in, I could imagine you going, "Oh yeah, this is your childhood bedroom."
Yeah, I believe that. Did you have a good work lamp in there?
I did have a good work
What
lamp.
makes for a good work
A,
lamp?
a sturdy light.
Yeah, a
sturdy
sturdy light. Okay, hold
stream
on, let
of
me write this
light.
down. A sturdy stream of light.
Yes. It's a direct beam, if you will, but there is a bit of a flare.
Yeah.
So it could cover a space, but if it's directly on your homework per se, you're gonna see those math problems.
What would you say was your favorite part of this scene?
Charlie, #CharlieBilly, get
Yeah.
that going. As the awkward dad was just so good. He played it so earnestly.
Sure.
I'm not a child of divorce. I don't know this, but it made me want to give him a hug.
Okay.
And it made me want to shake Bella to be stop being so weird. He's clearly trying.
Yeah.
And yeah, the fact that he cleared a shelf for her. That's nice.
He cleared a shelf
He
for
cleared
her.
a shelf.
What a guy.
What a man.
We stand.
We stand Charlie Billy.
The woke king.
The woke king.
If you had to name this scene, what would it be? And this is also going to be the name of the episode, so make it good.
Oh, God. I kind of want to name it Forks. Here we go again.
Forks. Here we go again. The sequel, of course, to Forks.
Is that what he just named?
No, that's a Mamma Mia joke.
Oh, okay.
'Cause you got Mamma Mia and then Mamma Mia, Here We Go again.
I thought you meant Will named the, because, Will
Nicholson.
Wickelson was the, Wickelson
Nicholson
for short, was the previous.
Yes,
scene.
yes, he was.
So I thought you said he named it just Forks. And I was like, wow, we're on the same wavelength.
No, he gave it a similar name. The name he gave his episode was Phoenix Rising, A Stuck Cactus Never Blooms.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's too late, though.
It's too late. We already wrote it down.
You got Forks, Here we go
again.
You both gave it a subtitle, though. I find that interesting.
Yeah, because we need to hear ourselves talk more.
Emily Bouroudjian,
Yeah.
thank you so much for being on Bite Size.
Thanks for having me.
If people who listen to the show want to find out more about you and the things that you do, where should they go?
You should go to, I co-host a podcast with Jessica Mole called Femmes Reading Filth, and it's a podcast about romance novels and fan fiction. And you can find that wherever you listen to podcasts.
Real quick, on her little bulletin board in the bedroom was like a little bumper sticker bookmark
Is it Femmes
thing.
Reading Filth?
No, it says reading is sexy. Do you think reading is sexy?
Reading is sexy.
Wow.
A man that reads is sexy as fuck.
There you go.
I also do riff with a lot of the people who have been on this show. That's in Chicago on Saturdays at 10 at IO. And then finally, I also, in my free time, write romance novels myself. So, you know, I have one called The Man Across the Alley, and it's under a pen name called Emily Bouroudjian. Second book is coming out this summer, July 12th, 2023, and it's called The Robbery Across the Hall.
Whoa.
So,
is
yeah.
it a sequel?
It is a sequel.
Wow.
It's a spiritual sequel. Same universe, different crime, different couple.
Okay.
Yeah,
Incredible.
So I got a lot of stuff. Come find me. I'm fun. I'm nice. I promise. Sometimes.
Thank you so much for listening to yet another episode of Bite Size, the Twilight film retrospective. If you want to follow the show on social media, I recommend that you do. We are at bitesizedpod_ on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Maybe one day we'll get a Blue Sky invite. You can find us there too. But until then, just Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Tell a friend about the show. Share it. Leave a review. You're a person in the year 2023. You know all the things that podcasts typically ask you to do. Our producer is Ben Oxshire. Our theme song is Mauled to Death by the fantastic band Swimwear Department. Find them wherever you find your music. That is it for another episode of Bite Sized. As we always say at the end of the episode...
Oh boy, vampires! Womp, womp, womp!
Oh boy, vampires! Womp, womp, womp! See you next time!
Oh, I was so scared.